everybody is doing well. I feel like I kind of settled into a new groove, a new routine of a new wake up time and a new when I walk the dog and when I have my tea. So I feel like I'm kind of settling into a new routine. So hopefully you guys are feeling that too. We're going to start laying down on your back today and be comfortable. So if you want to put something underneath your head or underneath the legs or have the knees bent, whatever you want to do here to be comfortable. And focusing for a moment on your back. So see how your back feels when you lay down. For me, as soon as I let my legs go straight, there becomes an arch in my low back and it's a little bit of a strain. So as soon as I bend my knees, I feel the low back press down into the floor, and that way I can relax and feel a little bit more grounded. So I'm going to let my knees touch, which also supports the back and hips. And let's place the hands on either side of your belly, but let your elbows still be supported by the floor. And just take a moment here with the eyes closed to settle into your practice. So begin to breathe a little bit deeper than you normally do. Try to find that connection with the breath and see if you can notice the physical feeling of the breath traveling into and out of the body, as well as what you feel emotionally or mentally when you start to breathe deeply. The nervous system begins to relax. The mind gets a little bit quieter. I'm talking to one of my students last week about the breath is that when you consciously breathe deeply and try to make that connection to the breath, you're not able to feel anxiety at the same time. So it's nice to let any of those anxious, stressful feelings just kind of go to the side as you bring your awareness right to the center of your breath. And then physically begin to check in with how you're feeling. With all of my gardening lately, I've been feeling a lot of tightness in my neck and upper back and between the shoulder blades. So I'm just taking an extra moment here to feel length in the neck and supported through the back. So check in with yourself. See what areas of the body you notice might be feeling a little tight or off. Bring your awareness there and just try to breathe and let go. So trying to keep this peaceful, calm, easy breath throughout the practice, even when we begin to add movement. So here we're just going to gently reach the arms up overhead. So the tops of the hands are going to reach for the floor behind you. Soft elbows if you need to get your hands to reach the floor. Arms can be open wide if you need to. So any way that you can to get the tops of the hands supported to the floor. Shoulders open, back supported. Space around the lungs stretched open so that you can breathe even deeper. And then from here, just lift the feet and draw the knees into the chest. So you're not using your hands, just the knees come into the chest gently. And then start to gently lift the feet up towards the ceiling, hip width apart. Keep the knees softly bent to start. We'll flex the feet and point the feet, just starting to warm up the backs of the legs, getting the blood to flow down the legs towards the hips. We'll make some circles with the ankles in one direction and then the other. We'll take a deep breath in here in this soft pose, and then as you exhale, we're going to hug the knees into the chest and bring the forehead to the knees. This time as you inhale, arms reach up and back, maybe the feet go a little bit higher, and exhale out of the mouth, hug the knees into the chest. 2 more times like that. Inhale, arms reach, maybe the legs get a little straighter. Don't worry if they're feeling tight. Exhale, hug the knees in. And then 1 more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach up and back, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees in. We're going to let the left foot come down to the floor. Interlace your hands behind the right thigh. Press your thigh forward into your hands so your arms go a little straighter and your shoulders pull down away from the ears. Let's let the left leg go straight along the floor if that feels okay. Eyes are closed. Let's gently rock the head left to right. So turning to the left, turning to the right, releasing the neck. Feel the rise and fall of the chest and belly as you breathe. And relax the shoulders down away from the ears. And then just begin to feel what you feel in the back of the right leg. If you want to flex your right foot, you can, but you don't have to. You can just keep the foot soft as we gently start to soften the back of the leg. Thinking about the flow of energy in the body, the blood flow, the lymphatic system flow, just letting everything move with ease. If there's any areas where you feel like you're a little stuck, bring your awareness there and just breathe. We'll take 1 more nice deep breath in here, and then as you exhale, let's just hug that right knee into the chest. We'll bend the left knee so the left foot comes on the floor. Let your right ankle cross over the left leg above the knee. A gentle sway of the whole shape of your legs left to right with your left foot on the floor. You'll start to feel a little bit more open in the low back. Go gently. You don't have to go too big here. And then when you come back to center, we're going to start to open up the hip and around the sciatic nerve. You can either just press your hand on the right knee and stay there. You can scoot your left foot closer to the left seat with the left foot on the floor. Or you can reach for the back of your left thigh, or even hold on to the front of your left shin. So that goes really deep. So just see where you want to be here. We'll find softness to start. So a little sway left to right with the legs, a little sway left to right with the head and neck. Let the shoulders relax down away from the ears. If you want to go a little deeper, you can shift the shape of the legs a little bit over to the left and then pull the left knee gently in towards your left shoulder. If you want to feel a little bit more, you can flex your right foot. And let's just breathe here. So the hips can carry a lot of tightness and tension and stress in the body. So notice what you feel physically here. And then also notice if there's a connection with what you feel physically. If you can let that physical tightness go in the hip, can you begin to notice if you can feel a little bit more peaceful and calm around the heart and around the mind? When you breathe in, completely fill up. And when you breathe out, completely empty, maybe even lengthening your exhale to be longer than your inhale. We'll take 1 more nice deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, let's bring the left foot down to the floor. We'll cross the right thigh over the left thigh. If that's going to feel like too much on your twist, then uncross the legs and the right foot can come next to the left. So the deepest expression of the pose is the right leg crossed over. Hips scoot over to the right, arms reach away from each other, legs drop to the left. If that's too much, uncross the legs. If that's still too much, bring your right leg back to center so the right foot is on the floor and just the left leg is open. So pick your pose. Once you're there, eyes are closed. Gently roll the back of the head left to right. Checking in, making sure there's space between your shoulders and your ears, so lengthening through the neck. Begin to feel some length through the spine, through the rib cage. So thinking about your right knee being away from your right hip, and your right hip being away from your right shoulder. And then just breathe here. Let the weight of the legs release tightness in the back. We're also increasing the blood flow to the internal organs, which really helping with digestion here. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's bring the legs back to center. Even out the hips, uncross the legs if they're crossed. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Gently lift the feet up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, out of the mouth, hug the knees into the chest. Really draw the knees in, let your low back lift up a little bit so you get a nice stretch in the low back. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees into the chest. One more time, just like that. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. And exhale, hug the knees in. Relaxing the head down, the right foot comes down to the floor. Interlace your hands behind your left thigh. Pause here. Press your thigh into your hands. Maybe your arms go a little straighter. Feel your shoulders come down away from the ears. Maybe you turn your head left to right, releasing any tension in the neck. Follow the breath so you can feel the rise and fall in the chest and belly. You can let your right leg go straight along the floor if that feels okay. And then just pause here. Grounding down through the back. If you want to go deeper, you can flex the left foot. You can begin to straighten the left leg. Don't feel like you have to. We're easing into this softness in the back of the left leg, around the back. Allowing your breath to flow with ease. We'll take a nice full deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, let's hug that left knee into the chest. We'll bend the right knee so the right foot comes onto the floor. Left ankle crosses over the right leg above the knee. Pause as we just shift the weight of the legs left to right a little bit. This can be little or it can be big. Maybe your left knee goes all the way down to the floor, or your left foot goes all the way down to the floor. Just see what feels okay for you. Trying not to go too deep in the back yet, and go slow. When you come back to center, again, lots of options here. You can stay, you can scoot your right foot closer to your seat, You can reach for the back of the right thigh or hold on to the right shin. Shoulders are pulled down away from the ears. Relax through the neck. Nice full deep breath. So notice the length of your inhale and the depth of your exhale to go a little bit deeper. You can shift the shape of your legs over to the right a little bit. Draw your right knee into the right shoulder. Maybe you flex the left foot. And then when you find the place where you feel the tension and you can feel that you can let it go, just pause here. Let your body do the work. All you need to do is breathe. Stay quiet in the mind. Feel grounded down in the part of the body that's touching the mat. And then feel light in the part of the body that's not touching anything. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's release. Let the right foot come down to the floor and prepare for the twist. So if you need to modify, left foot comes down to the floor, just let the right knee open. You want to go a little deeper, the left knee can stack over on top of the right. A little deeper, full expression, the left thigh crosses over, scoot the hips to the left, whole shape of the legs drops over to the right. Arms reach away from each other. Relax through the neck. Relax the shoulders. Stay open through the chest. Around the heart center is open. Left side of the rib cage open. And beginning to make space in between the bones in the low back. Feel the deep rise and fall of the belly as you breathe. Try to keep both shoulders and shoulder blades down on the floor, creating the twist in the lower half of the spine. Let's take a nice full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we'll bring the legs back to center, uncross them if they're crossed, even out the hips. Just hug the knees into the chest here. You can rock left to right and roll yourself to one side and press up to sit, or you can rock front to back a few times and then rock yourself up to sit. Once you come to sit, we're going to transition to hands and knees. So if you'd like to put something under your knees for a little extra support, feel free. If you have blocks or something that you're using as blocks, just have them at the front of your mat. If you don't, no worries. You can just use the mat. So we're going to come to a tabletop position to start, but then bring the knees wide, big toes touch, hips are going to sink down onto your heels, but keep the chest lifted for a moment. So you want to feel your hands reaching way out in front. Drop the neck so that the crown of the head is reaching forward, lengthening the back of the neck. Pull the shoulders back. If you're comfortable here, you can lower the forehead down to the floor. If you need a little extra support, you can place a block under your head, or you can always stack your fists. If you want to go deeper in the neck and shoulders, you can tent your fingertips. So we have the pads of the fingers on the floor. Palms are hollowed out and up. Head will drop down to the floor, keeping the shoulders and the forearms lifted. Or you can just come in any version of child's pose that feels good for you. Pause, connect, and breathe. Lengthening through the spine, shoulders, and neck. Lengthening through the exhale. We'll take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, palms come down on the floor. Make your way up to table. Knees go a little bit closer together so they're underneath your hips. Wrists are underneath your shoulder or a tiny bit in front. And we'll take 3 breaths together here. As you inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. As you exhale, tuck the chin, round the back, tops of the feet pressed down. 2 more like that. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, open the chest, lift the chin. And then exhale, tuck the chin, push the floor down, round the back, tops of the feet. So you're just riding the wave of your breath from the toes to your head. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin, and exhale, head, neck, shoulders, back, feet. We'll come back to neutral here. The right foot is going to step back, toes are down on the floor. The left hand is going to reach forward to the front of the room. So the left hand is forward, both shoulders are away from the ears, toes are down on the floor to start. And then we're going to lift the right heel if you can. Draw the belly in, strong back thigh, and just breathe here. Making sure the shoulders are away from the ears, the neck is long, the face is parallel to the floor, so the back of the neck is neutral. We're going to take a deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, left hand comes down to the floor, right toes come down behind you. We're going to pivot the left foot off of the mat. Roll to the arch of your right foot. The right foot presses down into the floor and the right hand reaches up to the ceiling. So I'm going to give lots of options here. Everybody might be looking for something a little different in their practice today, so it's up to you. You can stay right here, breathe, and open the chest. If you want to go a little deeper, your right foot can lift off the floor. If you want to build some strength, you can let your left ankle cross in front of the right ankle, or you can come to the arches of your feet are stacked together. So that way, if you want to get fancy with your right foot, you can lift the right foot. You can come into tree with the right foot. And you're breathing. I think some people can actually take their right hand and reach for their right big toe, but not me. Take a nice full deep breath in, and then as you exhale, right hand comes down, knees come down, child's pose. Maybe you'd like to take your hands and let them relax at your feet. Let your shoulders go and relax the forehead. Reconnect with your breath here. So a lot goes on in just this hour on the mat. Lots of physical things happening to the body. Lengthening, strengthening, releasing tension. So try to just stay connected to what it is you're feeling physically. And then just try to stay calm and quiet in the mind and present so that you can focus on the here and now. Because usually stress and anxiety is thinking about what's happening next. So if we can bring ourselves a little bit more present, then we can feel peaceful in whatever we're doing right now, right here. So let's come back up onto hands and knees. We'll take 3 breaths together, starting from the toes. Curl the toes under, deep breath in. A gentle drop in the belly, open through the chest, elbows soften, lift the chin. It's just like riding the ocean when it comes in and out with the waves. Then from the head, as you exhale, gently tuck the chin. Push the floor down with the hands. Space between the shoulder blades. Tops of the feet relax down. Inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time, just like that. Nice and slow. Visualize from the toes, moving all the way to the crown of the head. And then as you exhale, follow from the tip of the head all the way down to the toes. And then we'll come back to neutral. The left foot is going to go straight back, toes down on the floor. Right hand is going to reach towards the front of the room. Adjust the shoulders to start. So that might mean a softer right arm so that you can relax the shoulder. We're going to lift the left leg as you draw the belly in. Nice strong core here. Back foot is flexed. All 5 toes pointed down. Trying to breathe with ease. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left toes go down. Pivot your right foot to the right, roll to the arch of the left foot, and then reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. So again, up to you. Play around a little bit here. See what you'd like to do. You can stay here and just open the chest, lean back a little. Maybe you lift the left leg if you'd like. Left foot can come down. You can either cross the right ankle in front or the pinky side of your right foot is on the floor. Your arches are stacked so that you can play with the left foot. So either the left foot lifts, maybe it comes into tree, maybe you move your top arm. So wherever you want to be, just play around a little bit. Maybe you're moving. Keep the breath flowing. Take a nice full deep breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly come down, child's pose, reconnect. Arms can be way out in front, or tops of the hands can rest behind you. Maybe you stack your fists under your head. Just take a few nice deep breaths here. Okay, from here, you're going to walk your hands forward. Forearms and elbows are down on the floor. Your hips are over your knees to start. So you're kind of in a forearm table. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure they're over the elbows. Hands are parallel. We'll take the right foot, send it back, toes down. Left foot, send it back, toes down. So you're in forearm plank now. If you want to drop the knees, you can. Otherwise, we're gonna dig deep here and find that strength, that core strength. It's there. So you're breathing deeply. I'm gonna give suggestions on things to change up the pose. You don't have to. You can drop the knees anytime. If you'd like to lift your right foot, you can. We'll just pause here for a moment. See how that feels. And then we'll lower it. Next inhale, you can lift the left foot if you'd like. You don't have to. These are just options. Belly is drawn in. Nice and strong. We'll drop that foot. If you would like to rock forward and back, you can. Your inhale can bring the crown of the head forward. Your exhale, you can push your heels back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. We'll come back to neutral. If you'd like to keep going and add a little bit more, you can inhale, lift the hips, and then exhale, slowly lower to neutral, right where you were. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This is getting a little bit of strength into the shoulders a little bit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep the belly strong. Keep the breath flowing. And then whenever you're ready, drop all the way down to the belly. Make a pillow with your hands under your forehead. Bend your knees. And we'll windshield wiper the legs left to right. So just letting the low back release. And then letting the tops of the feet rest down on the floor. We'll keep the hands where they are underneath the forehead. We're going to work a little bit through strengthening the muscles in the low back. So moving with breath as you inhale. Forehead stays attached to the hands as you lift. So the hands, forearms, and elbows lift and the head lifts. Exhale, lower. If you need to modify, inhale, lift. Keep the hands, forearms, and elbows down. Exhale, lower. So let's move with the breath together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Feel the muscles around the spine getting stronger. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. You don't need to come up too high. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pause. We're going to add on a little bit. As you inhale and lift, you can lift the legs as well. Try to lift from the thighs. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Try not to create tension in the shoulders here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Inhale. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. And then exhale down. Bend the knees. Windshield wiper the legs left to right. Maybe make some circles with the ankles in one direction then the other. From here, you're going to bring the feet down to the floor. Hands come by your chest. We're going to push up and back. Hips are going to sink towards your heels. Forehead down. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace them. And then either let your knuckles reach back or you can lift them up, or you can lift your hips a little and roll onto the top of your head with the knuckles up towards the ceiling, only if that feels okay on the neck. Try not to take too much pressure on the head. It's more just to lift the hips to get a little bit more into the shoulders. And then we'll sink back down. Release the hands. Let the hands walk forward. And we're going to step your right foot up between your hands. So if you have blocks, you can use blocks underneath the hands. If you don't, then you just might need to modify a little bit because your hands will be on the floor. So just see how you are here. If you have blocks, they're underneath your hands. Otherwise, hands are on the floor. Maybe tent your fingertips so that you can bring the floor a little higher. So just pause here for a moment. We're going to curl the left toes under and lift the left knee. So the left knee is lifted. Spine is nice and tall and long from the tailbone to the crown of the head. The left hand will stay where it is. The right hand is going to reach up towards the ceiling just for a nice easy twist here. If you'd like to get a little more movement in the shoulders, you can make circles so you can reach your right hand all the way back. Let it come down by your hip and foot. Reach towards the front and then up and back. Just making some nice circles here like the arm of a clock. So reaching forward, up, back, and down. Maybe one more time like that. Inhale as you lift up. And exhale as you bring the hand down. We'll bring it to the inside of your big toe and drop the left knee. So the left knee is down. The right knee is over your right ankle. We're going to turn your right toes to 2 o'clock. Roll to the pinky side of your right foot. So you're opening up your right hip. Now up to you. If you have blocks, you can come down a little lower. Maybe your forearms rest on the block. Or if you can get down to the floor, you can. Maybe just the left arm comes down to the floor. So just see how you feel here. A gentle sway left to right. The goal here is to, once your body is in this shape, to be able to breathe with ease. So we're getting deep in the left hip flexor and deep in the right hip. Every inhale takes in the positive energy you're creating through your practice, and every exhale is a release, a let go of physical and emotional stress and tightness. You can relax the head, let it hang. This might feel very deep, so just take your time. Take a nice full deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to bring the hands back up. You can keep them to the inside of your front foot. You can walk your hands back, so maybe they're next to your right knee. We're going to let that right leg go straight. Your toes can be down on the floor. You're just going to push your right hip down, getting some length in the back of the right leg, and being neutral in the hip. So we just opened it. Now we're just getting a little bit of neutrality here in the hip. A nice counter pose. And then we'll swing that right leg back, and we'll step the left foot forward. So now it's going to feel really good to open up that right hip flexor. Your hands are framing your front foot. Left knee over the left ankle, using blocks if you have them. We're going to curl the right toes under, lift the right knee. So legs are strong, hips are light, so try not to sag way down. Lifted through the hips, strong in that left thigh. Left knee is over the ankle. We're going to twist to the left as you reach your left hand up towards the ceiling. And then we'll just move a little bit with the shoulder. So taking the hand behind, so it's reaching towards the space behind you. And then down near your hip and foot. Inhale, straight forward. Reach it up. And then the exhale is down and around. So inhaling forward, up and back. Exhaling down. We'll take one more. Inhaling forward, up, back, exhale down. When you bring your hand down, it's going to come to the inside of your left foot. Right knee drops. Relax the top of the right foot. We'll turn the left toes to 10 o'clock. Roll to the pinky side. So maybe this is it, and you stay right here. This is getting very deep into the left hip joint and the right hip flexor. Maybe you sway a little bit left to right. Try to relax the shoulders. If you want to come down a little lower, you can bring both forearms down onto blocks, or you can bring your right forearm down to the floor. Maybe the left arm comes down to the floor too, but that's super deep, so just see where you are. And then relax here. Relax the neck. Making sure that in this pose we're not creating tension. We're trying to release tightness and tension. So even though the pose might feel really strained or tight, keep your breath flowing with ease and invite the softness in. Let that softness take over so that you can let go. Continue to breathe deeply. Take one more nice deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to come up onto the hands. The left foot is going to be down on the floor, toes forward. And then just walk your hands back a little bit. Let the head drop. Relax the neck. Just feel a little bit of length in the back of the left leg. Let the hip be going straight out in front in the joint, the thigh coming out of the joint straight. Take a nice full deep breath in here. And then as you exhale, we'll bring that left knee back. So you're on hands and knees. You're going to pivot both feet over to the right. Come down onto your left hip. We're going to send the legs around to the front. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together. So the soles of the feet are together. Holding on to the shins. Inhale. Lift the chin. Lengthen the spine. Open through the chest. And exhale. Hold on. Round the back. Drop the neck. Drop the chin so you release the neck. Inhale, lift and open through the chest. Exhale, pull back so you're rounding through the back. One more time like that. Inhale, lift and open. And exhale, pull back. Coming up to a nice tall spine. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, reach forward as if you're trying to hand a beach ball to someone in front of you. Reach, and then just gently relax the hands down, the head down. Let go of the hips, the low back, the inner thighs and the outer thighs. Lengthen through the spine. You can sway left to right with the head or the torso. Take a deep breath in, a full breath out, and then use your next inhale to come on back up. You're going to take your hands behind you for support. Feet are coming onto the floor about mat width apart, and then you're just going to windshield wiper the legs left to right. So use your hands as support so that you can really get your inner knee down, lengthening through the spine, opening through the hip and hip flexor. Just getting nice movement here. Release through the back. Let go through the hips. And then we'll come back to center and gently make your way down onto your back. Feet are on the floor. Palms are down by your sides. We're going to take 3 breaths together here. So the feet draw in towards your seat. Inhale, arms reach up and back, hips lift into an open bridge. As you exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Inhale, lift to an open bridge, a drawbridge, it's open. And then exhale, come on down. We'll take one more, just like that. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. We're going to come into one more bridge and then hold it. So as you inhale, you can lift. Arms can reach up behind you. Hips can lift. You can pause here. Maybe you want to bring the hands down by your sides if you feel like you need a little more support. Maybe you interlace your hands underneath your back and you shimmy each shoulder underneath you a little bit more, lifting the chest towards your chin. If that feels like too much, you can always put a block under your low back for a more restorative bridge. We're not going to stay here too long, so just take a few cleansing breaths here. This pose activates the thyroid gland, which helps with metabolism, helps regulate the hormones in the body. It's nice to have the heart higher than the head, lengthening through the legs, the spine. And then when you're ready, let's exhale, slowly come down. Let there be space between your shoulder blades. We'll hug the knees into the chest. And we'll come into a happy baby. So modified, knees go wide. You can hold on underneath the knees. You can lift the feet. You can hold on to your ankles, or you can hold on to your feet. Whatever expression of the pose you have, you're relaxing your shoulders down away from the ears. You can turn your head left to right, releasing any last bit of tension in the neck. You can tilt your tailbone and pelvis forward and down to really neutralize the back. And getting one more chance here to release any tightness or tension in the hips. You can rock left to right if that feels good. And then we're going to transition to dead bug pose, where you're on your back, feet are going to lift up softly, hands are lifted softly, soft elbows, floppy wrists, soft knees, soft ankles. pause here. This is so good for your lymphatic system and for circulation. Breath is flowing. If you want to move the hands and feet, you can. Maybe you shake the arms and legs. And then when you're ready from here, take a nice full deep breath in. And then just use your exhale to let everything float back down to the floor, to your mat. And then we'll come into Shavasana. So final relaxation pose on your back. If you need any support with a blanket or a pillow, feel free. You want to be comfortable here and warm. So if you want to put a sweatshirt on or a blanket, you can. Let your back be supported by either bent knees or something underneath the legs. Let your palms be facing up so that there's nothing touching your fingers. Eyes are closed. Breath is flowing with ease. The mind feels nice and quiet and peaceful. The breath is slow and steady. The rise and fall of the chest and belly is gentle. The back and hips are completely supported. Arms and legs relaxed. Thinking about the different aspects of your yoga practice today and this time that you've spent on your mat, and what part of this practice can continue off of the mat when you go about your day today, the rest of your week. The ideas of staying present and connected and grounded, and being able to breathe with ease. Present, connected, and grounded, and being able to breathe with ease. Let's take your right hand over your heart, the left hand over your right hand, and remember that we are all connected. Not only are we here with each other, but much more importantly, we're here for each other. Let's slowly and gently begin to move the body to transition out of Shavasana. Taking your time, pausing along the way anywhere you'd like, and we'll all come together seated for a moment with palms together in front of your heart center to honor your practice and honor each other. Namaste.